everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. It is Tambarambaa, also known as Tammy Porter, with you today. And can you believe we're up to day 22 of the Art by Marlene Advent Calendar. So I'm just going to go through what I've used. I've obviously used my little book and the Advent Calendar. I've used markers, I've used the white craft tape, I've used sticky glue, I've used matte gel medium and the excellent silicone spatula. I've also used a stack load of paints, so Mermaid, Azure, Forest and Olive. And I've also used lace, Peony, Kissy and Ho Ho Ho. And I used the black and white collage paper as well. So we'll go ahead and open day 22, which is the gorgeous little die cuts, more of the little cute gingerbread houses and things like that. So what I decided to do, I love making little scenes, and I thought I'd do a different technique today just to show you something a bit different. It's something I do from time to time, and part of the fun of it is that you're never quite sure how it's going to end up. So I popped out a few of the little houses, really cute ones in there, and I did trim off. There was one with that had the ice cream on top of the house, so I've sort of trimmed that off to make two different houses, just because I knew I wanted sort of a line of houses going along the center of the page. So I've just taped down my page so it won't move, and then I decided to add the white border because I just love how this looks, and it does, when you're working on a double page spread, it does help to tie the two pages together to have that little white frame. So I've just taped that off, and now I just grabbed a sheet of the black and white collage paper with the text on it. I just had a bit of leftover, so I used gel medium just to adhere that down. I tore a few little strips and placed a few on my pages. So I hope you've enjoyed this month as much as I have. I can't believe there's just a couple of days to go. I'm going to have to try and keep carving out this time if I can to create, because doing the month, daily commitment, it really gives you that time and makes you prioritize that time amongst all the other chaos. So I hope I can keep it going into the end of the year and into 2025. So on that note, I will just also do a big shout out to everyone that is following along and perhaps is playing along at their own pace. You've got plenty of time. It's not a rush. It is a bit for us that are on the team because we need to show you each day as it comes. But for you that are going at your own pace, please just do that. And I also have been really loving Marlene's lives. Always learn something every time. There's a little tidbit that she shares that I think, so yeah, it's been really great. So what I've also done, while I've been rabbiting on, I've placed down a little bit of paint. So I did some peony, some kissy, and I always put a bit of lace with it as well, the white. And then just using the silicone spatula, I'm just spreading it. Now the trick with this is not to have too much. It's better to sort of build up your layers a little bit, then swipe, a whole heap of one colour. So it's supposed to look like sort of a sunset or, a beautiful, vibrant sky. And it needs to be a little bit, I guess, not perfect, because that's not the art that I'm going for. So I did it with some of those colours. I always go a little bit softer on the bottom because the bottom's kind of like a reflection, so I don't want it quite as strong. I want more of the vibrant colour in the sky. And then I did the same with a bit of the green paints, a couple of different tonings. I think it was olive and forest and a little bit of the white lace. And I just did that, not the whole way along, because almost the whole way along, I just wanted it to be the little grassy hills. And I love that even though I've put some paint down, because I've spread it with the silicone spatula, it's quite thin and you can see the text paper through it, and the text paper also makes it a bit lumpy and bumpy, and so does the gel medium, and it just gives, the paint kind of catches on those bits, and it's just a really interesting technique, I guess, and gives a different finish. So I've just been trimming off some of the buildings, and what I did is when I grabbed out that black and white text paper, I noticed that there was a black and white sheet with and it had some smaller buildings in it. And I thought, oh, amongst all the colour, because I always tend to go a little bit too heavy sometimes on the colour, I can add some black and white in, and it just gives that contrast. It just tones it down and yet pulls it together at the same time. So you can probably see here I've added gel medium to my page with my spatula, and I'm just gluing things down. I even popped a little candy cane on that little cluster of trees on the right hand side. And hopefully then you can see the difference that that black and white makes, and because it ties in really nicely with the background with the text paper, it just kind of lifts it all up. Okay, so now I've kind of got my background and I've got sort of the basics of what I want to do. It's time to just build upon some of that colour. I still want to keep that, I don't know if higgledy-piggledy is the right word, but I want to keep that look of not too perfect. So I'm just coming in with Marlene's markers. These pens are fantastic. So I added a bit more green to the grass, and now then I came in with a little bit of yellow because I was thinking about this little Christmassy village that has all the lights on, and it's creating a bit of a yellow glow. So I added a little touch of yellow with the pen just around the buildings a little bit, just to give that effect. And then I didn't know if it was being really brave or really stupid, but I came in with the black paint pen, and I've sort of put a bit of a shadow on the left hand side of the page. And after I did it, I thought, oh, I don't think I should have done that. And so that's okay. What I end up doing is putting my quote there. So everything can be solved. And then I started coming in and adding a few lines with the black pen, and I turned them into little black trees, sort of like pine trees around the building. And I'm just sort of smudging it with my finger a little bit, because I want it to be a little bit hazy, to be a little bit like the background. I don't want it, as I said, for them to be very precise trees. So then I've needing to add my reflection in. So those trees are reflecting into, I don't know if it's snow or ice or water, but it's there is a reflection happening. So I'm just sort of doing the trees, and that smudging with my finger. And also I found using the Stabilo All Pencil helped just to sort of soften a little bit. Yeah, because I guess using the marker straight on, it's quite strong, which is great for mark making and stuff, but because I wanted a bit of a softer look, I had to smudge that out. So now I'm coming in with the white pen and just doing a little bit of snow. I tried to make it look like it's not currently snowing, but snow has fallen overnight or during the day, and there's a little bit on the trees and on the top of the roofs and around the buildings. Then there's a couple of stars also in the die cuts, so I've popped a couple of those on, and I found one from one of the other die cuts. I think a couple of the trees I've used are from the other die cuts as well. So I have glued them on, and now I'm just kind of tissing it all up. So grabbing a couple of markers and doing a few mark makings, keeping that sort of blurry look, but adding in those pops of colour. And I think I do a little bit more to the reflection because I felt like my trees are reflecting really well, but my buildings aren't quite giving the oomph I want. So how I do that is I just use so if the building's a pink building, I grab the pink marker and I sort of do a little scribble underneath and smudge it out while it's still wet with my finger. So I had a great deal of trouble putting this quote on because I decided to cut it down. So I think the quote is, "You do not have to be whole in order to shine." And I was thinking about this little village shining, but because I thought, oh, I can add the quote to that big black blob that I made, I cut it right up into little pieces, and I kept losing little words. And anyway, I got there in the end. So then I just heated up the craft tape border so that I could peel it up really easily. And I'm just outlining the quote. And then I decide with my border just to do some scribbly lines and a few squiggles and and, you know, a border around the border, if that makes sense. And that's about it. So, yeah, I pop it in my album. I just love this album. This project is one of my favourites all year. Yeah, so this is probably where I'm adding a bit of reflection. But anyway, I will leave you with some close-ups in a minute, but I just want to say thank you for playing along. Thank you. We're winding up towards the end of the year. I think I've got one more video before the end of the year, but have a lovely, lovely Christmas, everybody, with your families. And it's only a couple of days away till Santa comes down that chimney, and I've loved having you as part of my little community. Everyone is so positive, and I love that our art brings us together. So Merry Christmas to you all, and I will see you, I think it's between Christmas and New Year. Okay, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Lots of love. Bye.